Well, hey. It's December 29th, 30, 31st. It's December 31st. Oh my goodness. End the year. This is it. Last day of the year. Last day in the market. Last trading day. Last day of 2025. Hmm. Last day of 2025. What will you be doing on the last day of 2025? What are you going to be doing? Most people, you got those superstitions, very superstitious. You got those superstitions where you're supposed to clean up and wash all the clothes and and do all the things like that so you're not doing them on the first of the year. I don't believe in all that stuff. I don't believe in all that. Hey, Michael. Hey, Melissa. I don't believe in all that. Um, Even though I don't have any, I do have some clothes that could be washed, but I don't feel like you got to do all that. So you don't, wash the people out of your life at the first of the year. So you got to wash early, that kind of thing. I don't really do that. Not those superstitions. I don't really believe in all that. First person who open your door need to be a man, or or don't be sweeping. They got the little, y'all know what other superstitions are there? Hey, Julie, what other superstitions do y'all know about for the new year? Whatever you're doing at midnight is what you're gonna be doing all year. Um, what else is there? What other superstitions are there for the new year? I know you're supposed to eat certain things on New Year's, the greens for the money, the black eyed peas for something. Melissa said, I heard that what you do on the first is what you'll be doing all year. Um, what else? Excuse me. I know you're supposed to eat, it's greens and black eyed peas is supposed to be a thing as far as what you eating matters for the year. Something about your first phone call, who's supposed to walk in the door first. All kinds of little superstitions for the first of the year. Superstitions. I know people used to be in church on New Year's, like at the crossing of 12, because that was supposed to be an indication of what you were going to be doing for the new year. Maybe that'll get you closer to God and you be living a more spiritual life in the coming year. And though I am a proponent of definitely being in church, I don't know if being in church at midnight on the 31st, excuse me, is what would be an indication of how your spiritual life gonna look. I think that's a decision you have to make. But yeah, there's a lot of superstitions. I just think you need to be intentional. I find though that at the end of the year, it feels like I I, I get a lot more introspective. I feel like I get more introspective about what the new year has to hold. It's like I'm listening closer for what the Lord wants to do in the coming year. Now, of course, I've been running a business, and New Year's usually end up with new programs. So, like, what new thing are we going to do come first of the year? So I've always had a new program, but as I've been thinking about it for this year, I'm like, we're going to stay the course. Now, we are going to add the risk management challenge. We're doing that within our membership, but I'm not launching anything new for the new year. We're going to keep leaning into what we doing, right? To what we're already doing. We're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue copy trading, continue to get that solid. I'm not putting anything else on your girl's plate. No. I'm getting ready to make sure that I'm going to continue, not getting ready. I'm going to continue to make sure that copy trading is doing is giving what it's supposed to have gave, as they say. I'm going to continue to do that and continue to service and lead the membership of people into their learning and their gains with risk management. I've been really getting deeper into what is risk management. And I'm going to tell you, there's some stuff in risk management that I didn't necessarily think about. Risk management, we think about is only stop losses or sizing. Those are kind of two things that really like raise to the top of what is risk management. But what about emotional risk management? Mm, mm. What about trading the same things across? You're not in one stock heavy size, but you're in multiple different stocks, but you're in multiple stocks going the same direction, and they're all in the same sector per se. So let's say you got SPX, SPY, and Triple Q, let's say, and you got them all to the upside. That's basically that's the same thing going all the same direction. That's increase your risk because you got all three of them going the same direction. Or you say you got all the banks, you got, JP Morgan, you've got the bank, well, Bank of America and another bank, and you got all them going to the upside or going to the downside. You got all the banks, so you got all the medical going down. If you got all of these across the same sector going in the same direction, that's increased risk too. As I've been getting, more and more knowledge, because I was asking, what all is risk management? Because in my mind, I had 4 or 5 ideas, but some other stuff popped up like, that emotional risk management was something interesting. We're going to talk about it on Sunday when we really run through. And I think we'll definitely spend more time on risk management going forward, because I think that's something we're going to rinse and repeat more, because it's going to take more than a one night to hit risk management for us to really get it, because I feel like that's an area every time, every person who's responded back to my messages that I sent out to all the members, everybody who's responded back to those messages has said, yep, that's an area people don't have really much problem with entry. Their issue is in the management of the trade and not exiting when they should, or exiting too early, or not being properly sized. It's all the things, and all that's risk management. So we're going to definitely talk about all of that. Okay, let's see where we are. So SPX 500 is at 68.94 right now, which is right around where it closed yesterday. SPX closed yesterday at 68.96. Let's look at SPX. It closed yesterday at 68.96, right in that last 5 minutes. Them last few minutes, drop, baby. It dropped right off the map and starting at 340. This is a 5-minute chart. So for the last 20 minutes of the market, it just fell some more. That's what it did. And them last 20 minutes. All right. But for the day, let me get a larger time frame so we can see what the day looked like yesterday. Basically, yesterday was consolidation. Yes. It opened, ran up, right? Opening range, turned around, went back down, hit the bottom, went back up to the basic where it started, went back down, back to where we were right here. Up, slowly, basically danced around VWAP and then dropped back down. Basically opened and closed around the same spot. Very, 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 very small on the day. Let me show you the daily candle. This was the daily candle for yesterday. A 1, basically an inside day on SPX yesterday. We turned off this fair value gap so we can see that, but basically an inside day yesterday. Opened and closed. It opened at 6,900 and closed at 68.96. So about 4 points was all it moved up and down. Well, it went a little higher yesterday. It did go as high as 69.13. There was a daily fair value gap up there that kept it from pushing higher, and went down as low as 68.93. And that's all it did yesterday. Today, you wait to see whether it goes out to the top side or the downside. At this point, it's at 68.94. So it has gone, as far as the SPX has gone outside of this downside overnight. But at this point, SPX itself has not gone outside of this. We'll wait to see what today holds. But it does have some opportunity. We do have data that's coming out at 8:30. I'm actually going to go and see what what that gave us. Unemployment claims, 199,000. They were anticipating 219,000. That was the forecast, was 219,000 new unemployment claims, but it came in with 199,000 unemployment claims. Now, yesterday we got the FOMC meeting minutes that came out, and that kind of was a non-starter, basically was a nothing as far as the chart went. But I think there was some stuff in there that may have been overlooked. There was some discussion that there were several people on the board who wanted to pause the rate cuts, that there's something going on in there. It wasn't a consensus that everybody is like, yeah, let's cut again. There was several people who were saying pause, that things are not as rosy as they appear. I'm not sure if anybody took the meeting minutes and really broke them down. One thing you can do, one of the many uses for ChatGPT, is to take the meeting minutes, because you can get them, take the minutes, give them to ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT, I call him Chad, ask Chad to put this into understandable bullets. Say, Chad, read all this and let me know what this is saying. Like, what are the key pieces of information here? What's hidden in the text? Like, what's the subtext? Ask ChatGPT to explain it to you in terms that you can understand. Right? It's a lot of minutes. Just ask him, and then, or ask it. Mine is a him. Ask it to tell you what was said, and you'll be able to see what's there. Okay. So that's what's happening today. That's what happened today. 8:30 unemployment claims came in. 10:30 we've got crude oil inventories. That's happening at 10:30 this morning. Market is going all day today. So even though, it's New Year's Eve, the market is going to run all day. No short day today. Volume is very low because people are on vacation. So the volume is low, but that doesn't mean that people aren't in these trading streets, because they are. The market is closed tomorrow. So you can get another day off to chill and sit around and walk around in circles and figure out what to do when the market is closed. What do you do when the market is closed? What do you do when the market is closed? What do you do? And then on Friday, we will come back and have PMI on Friday. Okay. Let's look at investing.com since I'm here. Investing.com, we had 8:30 was the job claims. We've got that. 10:30, again, crude oil inventories are going to be told. We're going to find out about that. 4-week and 8-week bill auction at 11:30, natural gas storage at 12, and then speculative net positions happen at 3:30. Okay, those are the things that are coming up. The VIX is at 14.65 right now. That's where the VIX is. VIX is down, means market is up a taste. But market has been pulling back a little bit. It's kind of been sitting still, kind of gathering strength for whatever the next move is. But we are in the Santa rally, and I'm doing this in air quotes. We are in the Santa rally, which is bullish in nature. Generally, historically, this time is kind of bullish, neutral to bullish, going up. But you see, yesterday was kind of a sit still day. First 2 or 3 days of the year definitely does seem to be a little more bullish too. But listen, trade what you see, please. Don't trade what you anticipate. Trade what's actually in front of you. Good morning, Janae. She says, last hump day of 2025. Happy New Year's Eve. Yes, happy New Year's Eve. Yahoo Finance. 2025 was a wild year for the markets. It was. Them tariffs and all that went along with it caused us to have a nice little roller coaster ride for 2025. Trump returned to office, stocks soared again, gold hit record after record, and the AI boom rolled on. That's all happened in 2025. Stock futures slipped with Wall Street set to wrap up a wild 2025. NVIDIA sounds out. Taiwan Semiconductors on new chip order as China demand jumps. These stocks are the market's biggest winners and losers for 2025. Looks like Palantir down, GSPC, not sure who they are. Oil heads for the steepest annual loss since 2020. Burry says he's not short Tesla after calling it ridiculously overvalued, but he's not short on it. It's ridiculously overvalued, but I'm still in there, right? Trump Mobile delays plan to launch gold phone this year. She says China's economy is set to hit growth goal after an extraordinary year. Fed survey sees about 220 billion in bill buying over 12 months. I think that's what it was inside of the minutes. Is there something going on as far as something to do with the Treasury? Basically, the Treasury is getting ready to stop spending. That's something that I think it was something about the Treasury with the inside of those meeting minutes. There's something to do with the Treasury. They're getting ready to do something there. That's the thing that I'm trying to remember what I read. And I don't want to go find what I read, but something about that was what was like a hidden message inside of the meeting, the FOMC meeting minutes, something to do with the Treasury. Starbucks doesn't want to be on every street in New York and Los. Oh, really? You don't want to be on every corner anymore, Starbucks. Y'all are everywhere. Starbucks is up actually on the Great Wall of China. I know because I saw it. Okay. Starbucks literally is everywhere and everywhere all over China and on the Great Wall. There was a Starbucks up there. There was nothing else up there. There was McDonald's. McDonald's is everywhere in China too. And there's Starbucks. And not only are they everywhere, they're full everywhere. People are like, Starbucks, I must have. Dollar set for the worst year since 2017 with Fred drama at the center stage. Bath and Body Works confirms stores feel overwhelming to shoppers and announces upcoming changes. Yeah, it's definitely overwhelming. I personally will not go. I don't go to Bath and Body Works unless they're having a sale. And then I don't go in then. I go to online because if you go in the store, it's like nostril overwhelm, and then you want to smell some stuff and everything starts to smell the same, and it's like I think I might like this, but it smelled like this, and then new stuff come out, and do I like that more than I like this? I don't know. So I wait till the sale, then I buy a lot of the same thing that I already know I like, and then that's what I use. So they don't want to be everywhere in the Northeast. Well, they want to be everywhere, I guess. Enough everywheres. They want to be enough everywheres. Hey, Drew, how you doing? Okay, so futures are down a bit. Dow futures down 34, S&P down 4, NASDAQ futures down 19. S&P futures slipped slightly as benchmark gets set to close out 2025 with 17% gain. That's what's going on there. Europe is red with a couple greens. DAX and FTSE Milano are both green, but Stock 600, FTSE and CAC are all red. European markets open mixed on last trading day of 2025. Defense stocks rise. ASX 200, Nikkei and Hang Seng are red. Nifty 50 and Shanghai are both green. In Asia Pacific markets fall in the year-end trade. Investors parse China manufacturing data. Crypto is all green. Bitcoin is at 88,000 and some change. Ethereum, Solana, Dogecoin, all green. XRP is unchanged. Okay. Retail investors close out one of their best years ever. How they beat Wall Street at their own game. Okay. Space and defense boom lifted these satellite stocks by more than 200% in 2025. All righty, well, there's that. Let's move on. There's no earnings this week. Well, I think we will have some earnings that will show up next week. We don't have any earnings for this week. We got some showing up next week. Penguin, AAR, Jeffries, MSC. Y'all may not be able to see those too well. PriceSmart is showing up there. WD-40, Acuity, Simply Good. Nobody who's big time is jumping out at me from here. The banks start the second week of January. The banks start with their earnings. Okay. That's where we'll start seeing Wells Fargo, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, Financial Regions, M&T, PNC. Those all start the second week of January. All right. So that's where we are as far as earnings go. Nobody has earnings this week. All righty. All righty. Let's go see what Adam had to say. Add to the stage. Coming to the stage, Adam Mancini. Adam Mancini. Adam Mancini. Yesterday was one of the slowest days of 2025 in SPX. And I concur. Fine with me, though. So we had one DTE that was overnight, and it just whittled down, and I closed it out, and with very little stress. It was a lack of stress day, and I was okay with that. I didn't put on any new trades besides in the morning, I put on some in my own account in the morning because I definitely was like, definitely was not going to be putting on nothing else too late in the day because I was like, I'm not at all going to be putting on something too close and then have it go bananas and ballistic. So a few little things on the outer edges and let it just, and the premiums were not whittling down because basically price wasn't moving. So the only thing that was decaying the theta was time. And though time keeps on slipping into the future, it don't slip fast. So we need price action and time to decay to help move our stuff, but it didn't yesterday. So we just kind of let the time pass and then close the trade when they were ready. That's the way yesterday went. So it was a quiet day. Quiet day. I was able, say that again, coach, not me. So I was able to go to be away from my trading desk. I was out and about yesterday. Not really, I won't say I wasn't worried. I was impressed. I was able just to check my charts periodically as I made my maneuvers. It was good though to be away from the chart, so I didn't have to be. Not that I really get stressed, but sometimes when the chart's moving quickly and your trade is in there, it can raise your heart rate a bit. But yesterday it was a quiet day. Quiet day yesterday. Yesterday was one of the slowest days of 2025 in SPX. 68.98 to 69.02 reclaim was long trigger given with 69.06, 69.13, 69.17 targets. We ran to 69.15, then chopped all day at 69.06. That's definitely what happened. Plan today. The bulls must reclaim 68.96 in order to see 69.02, 69.06, and 69.10 plus. 68.79 equals support. Watch for traps. 68.67 is below. The difference between ES and SPX is about 46 points. Okay. XSP range is from 686 to 691. And you got to watch that top side because they may try to push even higher. Remember, this is the last day of the year. So the foolery may be afoot. Okay, y'all already know they will get end of year, end of quarter, end of month, end of. Today is the end of all that. All right, today is the end of the year. Today is the end of the quarter. Today is the end of the month. Yeah, we know we got Friday, but this is the end of all the stuff that's 2025. So you can expect some stuff. All righty. So just, volume might be low, but there's some closing outs happening today. So definitely trade what you see and trade wisely. Trade wisely, trade what you see. Okay, people? Okay. Let's head back to the charts and take a look at what we have to see. Anybody cooking anything good for New Year's? If you're cooking something good for New Year's, put it in the chat. Tell me what you got on your menu for New Year's. Tell me what you got for New Year's. Tell me what you got on your cooking menu, or where you going for New Year's. I had gumbo for Christmas, so we're gonna have a little bit of gonna have a little more traditional food for New Year. When I say traditional, it's traditional for our family, because tradition is whatever you make it. Your tradition is whatever you make it. Brian said he having black eyed peas and collards. That's what we having too. Black eyed peas, collards. I made some neck bones. They in the crock pot right now. In the crock pot doing their thing. They've been doing their thing all night. I need to go turn them off because they'll continue to cook and then there'll be mush. That ain't what you want. I don't want mush. I don't want that. Okay. Here we go. This is SPY. SPY on the daily. Yesterday was an inside day for SPY as well. Yesterday was an inside day for SPY, just like it was for SPX. It is currently at 687.01. Sorry, 687.55 is where it was yesterday. It closed at 687.01. It's at 687.50 in the pre-market, so it ain't really up very high from yesterday. But this is what yesterday looked like. It basically, I don't need to show you the daily chart because it looked just like SPX did. It did a bunch of back and forth, and oh, y'all like y'all can't see. Show the chart, child. I'm showing myself. There we go. Show the chart. Show the chart. We take a looking at you. Show the chart. Okay. This is the daily chart on SPY. Okay. Current price at 687.69. You can see over here to the right, the current price. Okay, that's what's going on right now. I can go to a smaller time frame. So that way we can see the kind of movement, what kind of movement we got going in the pre-markets. Okay. That's what happened. Basically closed over here at 686.93. And it's at 687.61 right now. Up a little bit in the pre-market. Okay. That's SPY. Triple Q. Triple Q closed at 619.40 yesterday, currently at 620.34. We're about 30 minutes, 35 minutes from the market opening. Market dropped a little bit. Triple Q dropped and then moved back on up a little higher. All right. And IWM closed yesterday at 248.06. It's currently at 248.26. So it's up 20 cents. So there we go. Now can we see it? Melissa said, whatever my husband cooks. Yeah, my husband is actually cooking the collard greens and the black eyed peas. I cooked the neck bones, and I think I might make some macaroni and cheese. Only because my son may make an appearance, but he hasn't been invited and he hasn't called to say what y'all doing. But I know him enough to know he'll call and be like, what you doing? And then he will appear. Janae says, we only moved 19 points. SPX, Fear and Greed at 49. Supposed to be going to church tonight. We got a guest performer. Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be good. My church is not having New Year's Eve service because we have church on Thursday. So we're just doing our regular Thursday service. So we have church. We're having church tomorrow. So I asked my husband, did he want to go to church tonight? And last time I asked, he said he was just going to wait and go on Thursday. We just wait to go to our own church. But I don't know if he'll change that. I'll ask again and see, because, you know, feel like I can always stay home and watch people on YouTube, because all the churches have service on YouTube. So you can see like a lot of different church services on YouTube. Like I could just be here and be at all kind of people's church and worship in my living room, because I've done that so many times. You know, that's a whole COVID thing. I would go from church service to church service and run around in my living room and sing and stand there and participate. And I would be a part of the service. I just wouldn't be present. You know, I'm present in the spirit. Well, Janae said we had Kirk Franklin last time. Hope they bring him back. Oh, that probably would be really good. That would be really good. All righty. Nobody else told me what they had scheduled for their menu. I saw one person who said they was having black eyed peas and collard greens. Okay, so that's what we got as far as charts go. Okay, so I mentioned the membership. Basically, this coming Sunday, we're going to run through our whole strategy. We're going to run through my whole strategy that we use to trade with, all the pieces and the parts. What do we use each day to place our trades and to determine what we're doing? We're running through all of that this coming weekend, right? We're going to run all of it. We're going to talk risk management. Risk management is going to be a rinse and repeat. If you want to come on and join us in the membership, you got a free 7-day pass to come and see what we're doing over there. I'm not running a new program. Basically, we started copy trading a few weeks ago. That is up and running well. By the way, copy trading made $70 yesterday, made $30 the day before that. And I anticipate another profitable day today. Basically, people making money hands free. I don't bring it up every day. Doesn't mean we don't make money every day, because we do. So, I mean, not that we don't take some losses, because we had a red day on last Friday. It was $30, which I consider that a very small red day, because, how many of us have had days that was much bigger red than $30? So I consider a $30 red day a win. If all I had was a negative 30, that's a win. A win is a win to me. If all we were down was $30, then listen, I call that a win. That means there was probably some other losses that were mitigated, and we brought it up now, and it's definitely what happened, right? So that was last Friday, which Fridays are Fridays. I'm strongly considering them Fridays. We talk about it all the time, but them Fridays, hey Ward was welcome, but them Fridays. Anyway, there's that. Yeah, there's that. So, what was I saying? Anyway, the membership. I'm not starting anything new for 2026. We're going to continue down the path that we're on. We're on a nice little trajectory, and we're going to continue that. The next thing we're really adding to our setup is really more focused on risk management, because we've got the pieces. Leaning into good profits. The next thing we need to add to that is the risk management piece, which is what we're going to do starting in 2026. And it's not talked about a lot in a lot of other areas. If you think I'm lying, go check some of them. Them ain't talked about. People ain't talking about risk management. They're telling you the alerts. They're telling you the side. They're telling you their profits. Not too many people talking about risk management or their losses. But risk management covers a whole group of a whole lot of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna lean into that in 2026. That's what we're doing over here in the seller zone, and we're gonna keep doing copy trading. All right, all righty. So if you're gonna join us, you can do that. The link is running along the bottom. And we're ready to move to the declaration. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses, and my account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. All right, all right. Okay, so last day of 2025, as I've said, we want to be wise, be strategic, trade what you see, right? Give it time. If you've got your strategy that you're trading, then you trade your strategy. Don't jump out there too fast, right? Let the setup, let it set up. Let the setup set up, and then you go in. Let the setup set up. All right. Yeah. Happy New Year. I will see my crew in the chats and all those places. Otherwise, I will see the rest of you all on I will see the rest of you all on Friday. You blessing people out? Good. If you blessing them out by giving blessings, I love it. Make sure that you're here with me on Friday morning. Deborah said, I'll be at watch night service. Happy New Year's Eve. I pray God's blessing over each of you in the new year. Have a happy New Year 2026 on tomorrow. Definitely. Y'all continue to pray for each other and continue to pray for me. Just know the person out front takes the most hits. The person out front takes the most hits, right? So definitely every time you think about anything you doing that come up with this money and this trading, you need to throw my name right on in the ring. Lord, bless Arlissa. Watch out for her mind, her spirit, and her emotions. Okay, watch out for all the things around her, because when things around me are affected, that of course affects me. So y'all keep me lifted up in prayer. Okay. All righty, everybody. I want y'all to stay green, and I want y'all to get this money. And I will see you in the market. Everybody have a happy New Year if I don't talk to you again. And I will see you on Friday morning. All righty. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. I'll see you in the market.